Welcome. Speedweeks concludes with an underdog taking the Daytona 500 as the Daytona Road Course gets another run this coming weekend. You're listening to the NASCAR Hotspot podcast, starring me, the NASCAR Hotspot. Let's go on to the episode. Welcome to the show. I'm Troy, joined by Chris and Caden. And Speedweeks is over, and we're still gonna be in Daytona, but we still have to review all that went on in Speedweeks. It was pretty historic in a couple of different ways, and there's a lot of exciting moments. I was there. I would know. So, what what did you guys think of Speedweeks?
It was, there was no bad races up until the 500, which, the 500 wasn't a bad race per se. Just nothing happened. It was just a boring race. So I'd give it like a 7 out of 10 overall.
I'd say the whole entire Speed Weeks was probably a 8.5, and I think people are dogging on the 500 just because it was a train, but we saw what happened the couple of times that they decided to not be a train. It became an absolute hellfire of a wreck, especially at the end, literally. Shoot, the Clash did the same thing with the end of the race too. So, speaking of that,
yeah, I'd rate it like a 7.5, because all the races leading up to the 500 were really good, but the biggest race is the 500. So the fact that it kind of disappointed a lot of us, pretty much all of us, brings the rating down a lot. So let's kick this off. The Clash, the first Busch Clash on the road course, and it did not disappoint like we all thought it would.
As a person who vividly hates road courses, that was a good race. It wasn't a fantastic race. It was just good racing overall. There was aggressive, there was good restarts. It wasn't just what we all thought would be Chase Elliott taking the lead or Denny Hamlin and then just driving away. There wasn't a clear best car. And even still on the final corner of the final lap, or in the final chicane, I should say, we didn't know who was going to win. It came down to Blaney and Elliott. It was a classic finish. It was a great finish.
Yeah, I would say no, it was a really good race. You definitely had a lot of unexpected scenarios that we didn't think were going to happen with the back stretch chicane, how that would just become mud all over it, especially on exit. We saw it a few times, actually, guys getting loose or even going into the wall. That front stretch chicane proved why it was there, though. I think NASCAR, not only for safety perspective for making turn one, but also with kind of adding that excitement into it that I don't think any of us really thought that it would. Because we saw last year, the final chicane, Denny actually gained a lot on Chase where he didn't have it, and now he is. And we saw with the Clash how it came down to Chase and Blaney, and neither of them even won. But I'd say it definitely canceled out a lot of those people hating on the road course for it, and I think it kept the Busch Clash still being able to be a part of NASCAR.
Yeah, I agree with that. I thought it would be boring, but they changed up the package a little bit. I forget what they did. But I don't remember. I swear they had the 750 last year. But either way, this year was 750, and it made a lot better racing. It was easier to pass, and I feel like last year, since everyone knew what they were doing, there's a lot of better guys this year. We had Hamlin, Truex, Chase, Blaney. Is that
Kyle
really
was
it
quietly
about the
there
really
the
best?
entire time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
He won the damn thing, but
Yeah, he went.
He was
thing that
top 5 the whole race.
Yeah.
He wasn't bad. He wasn't not leading laps, but he wasn't the best, but he was there in the right place. So he was running great all race.
He was that first guy outside of the contenders. That's what he was.
Yeah.
And Troy noted on it the change that they did instead of going with the as Junior once called it, big ass spoiler. They decided to go with the actual road course and short track package, which is the small blade. and that proved to be a very big difference for a lot better racing in general for the
Yeah.
track, because last year's race was, yeah, boring as hell, but they changed it to the small spoiler and we saw just how much better racing it could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the big thing about the Bush Clash,
Good English.
is mud. It rained like the day of or the day before the clash took place, and drivers on the back chicane kind of like cut it a little bit, so they put like 2 tires on the dirt or the grass, but then it was mud, so all the mud kicked up onto the track. So 10 laps in, we had to have a debris caution so they could fix that. And that was probably like a big factor of the night, because yeah, it kind of like
Yeah.
killed their vision kind of a little bit, and
I
cars were
love seeing the
overheating.
cars like that. I love
I
seeing the
mean,
cars like that. It was great.
yeah,
It
it
had
was
that. It
cool.
had the dirt look to the cars. Like it was actually made them look like they were racing on dirt, which was impressive to see. I, the amount of just how caked the front nose of almost every single car was. Caden, are you listening to music while we're doing
No,
this?
no, no, no. I'm listening. I was gonna say that backstretch chicane, that was like a game winner. It was really impressive how well that thing worked. I mean, we saw a lot of spins. There was the Truex where he would DNF like with like what 7 ago,
5 to
after
go.
Yeah.
5 to go. What
5
even
to go.
happened? He spun
He
around. Did he just get in the
he
dirt and he just go around? Did
Yeah,
he hit
That's
the?
exactly what happened. There was some dirt on the
yeah,
track, and it just hooked his car around.
Yeah,
So
that
yeah.
was unfortunate. He was really fast, but Blaney, I think, was chasing him. And then there was, I don't think they caught this on TV, but Keselowski spun.
yep, yeah, I saw that right away.
Yeah, I saw when it happened, like the corner
Yep.
screen. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay.
I was looking. My dad and I were watching it, and I'm like, "Hey, Brad spun." He's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "No, he spun." And then they panned it to him trying to get back up to speed.
They never showed the replay.
No, they never showed the
There
replay
was
because
like,
they
there
didn't
was
get
like,
it on camera. That's one thing
yeah,
It
both
was
of these TV broadcasters are lacking on is camera work.
it
I
was
get it; it's a
hilarious.
big track, but yeah,
They were
yes,
following the guy in front of them, whoever that was. I forget who that might have been, Busher or something. I don't know. They were following someone in front of
I
them,
believe so.
and they were focused on him. And then out of the corner of the eye, you just see Keselowski go around into the grass.
yeah.
It was
You could
hilarious. He just
hear
pops
him.
into the screen.
Oh,
Yeah,
uh-oh.
so
I actually,
Truex spinning from the lead was probably like the biggest turning point of the race, since Truex was the fastest clearly, and he took the lead from Hamlin, but then immediately after he
oh,
spun,
what the?
Whose phone is
Hang on.
going off, bro?
There we go.
Turn off your
Mine,
vibration.
because Mike just called me.
Mike,
Mike, I'm
George.
recording right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll text you later.
Yep. Bye. We can definitely keep that in. That was
I'm,
great.
can we keep that in?
Yeah. We're definitely keeping that
Mike.
in. That was great. I'm just like, oh, Mike's calling me.
Truex had the fastest car for a bit, but then Blaney started hunting him down. Blaney was really chopping into his lead. I'm not saying Truex was like slow, but Blaney was just wicked. I mean, didn't Truex stay out and then Blaney came in? I know
Blaney
not
pit.
a
Blaney pit.
yeah.
That's what the difference was.
Yeah, I knew Blaney pit, but did Truex stay out or did?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, locking up those tires, heading in a 1 on the restart really killed him when he was trying not to absolutely wipe out Dylan. So that was probably a factor.
That's when what is it? Blaney just went to the outside of everyone on the restart.
Oh
On the
yeah,
restart, Blaney
Past like
just
2 or 3 rows.
yeah.
yeah. So that was a turning point, and from here it was Chase Elliott, who originally started in the back, and he finally made his way into the top 5. He stayed out, but then the fastest car of the night, Ryan Blaney, he pitted for tires, and this was I believe five lap shootout to the finish. So Blaney quickly took care of everyone while Chase's tires were killed, but I think he pulled away to like a second and a half or something like. And then Blaney quickly chased him down, And with 2 to go, Blaney was on Chase's back bumper and got past him. What is in like the kink. He like got to like his outside in the kink, and then on the next corner, whatever you call that, on the right hander, he passed him there.
You know what I realized? Elliott never had the fastest car at one point in that race, other than that like final half a lap. Like he was always, he wasn't always there. It took him a long time to get up to the front.
Yeah.
But
cautions really didn't aid him that much, but like even in like the green flag run in the beginning, I noticed he wasn't making up time that quickly.
No, he was past like 5 or 6 cars in the first run.
He like stalled out. He was like 15th for quite a while, like 14th, 16th, that area.
Yeah. So Blaney gets past Chase, give him to the white flag, but we thought that's the end of Chase and Blaney would just pull away. But he somehow stayed with Blaney all the way through the course, through the last lap. And then one notable thing is that Blaney entering a corner was really bad. Like, I don't know why he like braked, if he braked too much, or if he needed to do that for the car to, or if he needed the car to like turn that way. But that's where Chase gained a lot entering the corner, and then Blaney would pull away exiting. So on the back chicane, Blaney pretty much gave Chase that kind of run and opportunity heading into the front chicane. And then this is where everything right now. And so going into the front chicane, I believe Blaney goes a little wide in it, I think, and then Chase goes to the right of Blaney, and then
no, I'm just trying to be more loose, dude, honestly. Just be a little bit more free flowing. It's kind of better that way.
Yeah, it is better. I'll keep a lot.
Blaney went wide because if he went actually try to make the chicane properly, he would have got punted out of the way and right into the grass.
Yeah.
It was like he was either getting wrecked or getting wrecked.
Well, and then the way he turned into the chicane, if he would have just tried to take it wide, he wasn't going to make the chicane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he knew he had to come down. I think he knew he was going to hit, and him and Elliott were going to make contact, and he was going to try and hit Elliott and make sure that he could get away, and then he would have won. That was basically Elliott dumped Blaney.
Yeah.
Yes
so Chase was all the way to the right. That if he went any more right, that he would have hopped the curb.
Yeah.
But like the chicane is so tight that it's just a recipe for disaster going in too wide there. You know, they're both of them are fully committed, and it just turned out the way it turned out. And
we knew one of them entering that final chicane wasn't going to make it out, whether it was going to be Elliott or Blaney.
Yeah. So, and then Kyle Busch, who we pretty much didn't hear a single word from all race, gets past Chase and wins the Busch Clash. I think that was his second Clash win, and that's about it. You know, it's a Clash win. It really doesn't matter then. It's just an exhibition race, but it's a lot of experience heading into this coming week now for the Daytona Road Course. That is helpful. So now we know who to look out for, guys like Chase, Blaney, Hamlin, to
Truex.
To dominate. Truex, of course, yeah.
Truex, yeah. There's a couple of underrated guys that a lot of people aren't.
Tyler Reddick.
We'll get to that later.
Man was
insane
that race.
4th, I think.
Other than dumping Bowman into the wall, but
he wrecked a few people with that. There was a couple people that wrecked with that.
He was racing I'm not saying he was racing overly aggressive. I think he was just racing carefree, knowing that this is just an exhibition race. So I mean, didn't he finish 4th, 5th?
Yeah, you got 4th.
Oh, where'd it go? I just had
4th. Because first Kyle Busch, 2 Chase Elliott, 3rd Joey Logano, 4th Tyler Reddick, and 5th William Byron.
Byron existed that race?
Yeah.
Byron's actually low-key good at the Daytona Road Course.
He's low-key good at road courses in general.
Yeah.
That leads us into pole qualifying the next night. Yes,
Wait,
night.
can we talk about someone
They
who was
did it night.
extremely disappointing during the clash?
Oh, was it Ty
Ty
Dillon?
Dillon.
I know Ty Dillon. Yes. I don't know.
I
I
don't know,
didn't
I
know what
think
to
this-
expect.
I didn't expect him to win. I'm not saying I expected him to win, but we saw at Charlotte Roval. He was even
Well, that was
I
way
know there
different
was the rain
scenario,
tires and all that, but even still, he was running pretty decent. He was running like top 15, closer to top 10. Tonight he just ran what, like 18th, 19th the whole night.
He got up to
He got up
8th
to
and
the
then got
top.
spun. He was
Yeah,
part of that Bowman spin, I think.
Oh yes, he was.
Yeah, he was like 9th or 10th with like 2 to go, and then he finished like 18th or something.
Yeah.
All right, so pole qualifying night. Hendrick Motorsports takes another front row lockout for the Daytona 500 with Alex Bowman first and William Byron second. Alex Bowman put down a wild lap, which was
Man,
like
beat
crazy.
Byron by like what, 2 car lengths?
No, it was more like
Yeah.
2 tenths.
So notables that were fast. Suarez was fast early. It took a
Priest.
good amount of cars to beat him, and then Stenhouse ended up beating him, and then Bubba was pretty predictable. We knew he was gonna be fast. I don't know, fourth fast, but like he beat Stenhouse and he was up top. And then Byron went. He took first for a little bit, and Almirola was so close to beating Byron, but not enough. Leaves Alex Bowman. I think he was one of the final cars to go out to take the pole, and his average speed was 191.261 miles an hour. And another storyline of this race is David Reagan and Ryan Preece both locking themselves in on time, which is it saves a lot of stress. It's huge for both teams, because like David Reagan has never needed to race his way in, and I think same with Preece, but of course it'd be a shame for Preece in the 37 car to miss the 500. Like they don't deserve that kind of stuff. Another thing is that Noah Gragson failed tech like 3 or 4 times. Yeah, 3 times. So he wasn't able to make a qualifying lap. So he was sent to start last in his duel.
Yeah.
and
Ended up
anything-
missing the 500 because of Garrett Smith.
We'll get there.
That still stings. Yeah. Okay. So any comments about pole qualifying? I mean, like it's pole qualifying.
It was the most
Um,
predictable front row ever.
Yeah.
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 that's about it.
Yeah. Also, Chevy has gotten every 500 pole in the Gen 6 car. It's pretty neat.
Wow.
Yeah. Patrick
Wow.
Dillon, Gordon, Elliott, Bowman, Byron, Bowman. No, wait. You got it last year?
Stenhouse.
Stenhouse. And then
Stenhouse.
Bowman. Yeah. So that leads us to the duels.
Oh, we want to talk about that first one where someone like dominated a lot of it. Caden's favorite driver of the entire series.
I don't know what you're
His
talking about. I didn't watch
favorite
the one.
driver of his entire series absolutely dominated Duel 1.
You're gonna die past it and just chuck it against the wall right now. Mans
Oh, that
can't
was
take a
funny.
push at any super speedway. He's been leading or
But he
like
won his duel race.
he won his dual race because he had 4 fourths behind him. Not wrong.
Anyways, let's actually talk about the duel race and not
Yeah.
just the 500 and you bitching.
So
Anyway,
the
I don't
first
even
duel.
remember what happened in the first dual
Yeah.
race.
That's why I got
It was-
racing reference up.
it was
Um,
literally just Eric Amarola just clinic.
Yeah, so it was a Ford clinic pretty much. Eric Gilmore started second and took the lead. Who started? Oh, Bowman started first, but he fell back.
Yeah.
They were pretty
He had an
racy.
engine issue.
Yeah. They were pretty racy in the beginning. But then it kind of mellowed out and the Fords got up front and it was single file. But in the race to get into it all, it was between Ty Dillon and Austin Cindric. And like of course there's a stupid rule where there was a stupid rule where
If you lock yourself into the 500, you're not an open car anymore. You're in the 500. I don't get why Priest was still considered an open car. Even if he wrecked, he was still going to make the 500. So what was the point of still having Priest as an open car? Ty Dillon ran a much better race. Austin Cindric choked, but still made it because of time.
I think Cindric proved in the 500 why he made the race. All right, let's continue on.
Yeah, because 24 cars wrecked out.
It still had
Yeah.
to lead laps with Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski. Who else
All
was
his
still
Ford
in it?
teammates.
Chase Elliott was still in it.
Michael McDowell was still in it. I wonder what he did. I wonder where he finished.
We're gonna find out later.
Yeah. So as the Fords were dominating the field, Ty Dillon ran an amazing race. Amazing race. She was like top 10 all race. Cindric was also kind of like top 10, but then under green flag pit stops, he spit on pit road, so that put him a lap down. We had to do his drive through, so it was up to Ty Dillon not to choke it. And on the last lap, coming out of 4, Ty kind of goes up the track, and Suarez goes under him, and Ty's momentum just dies. And then Priest goes it outside the last second, and Ty gets BS'd out of the Daytona 500, which he doesn't deserve at all. I mean, he had no say or any of that, and like how his career has gone, like of Jermaine shutting down, and all that.
Wish Ty just turned right and wrecked the field. That would have sparked controversy. That would have been funny.
Yeah, he probably would have
Would've been a
gotten
bad
kicked out
idea.
if he just straight up turned. If you just see his gloves.
There's no rule against on the final lap. Isn't it boys have had on the final lap?
Yeah, you're going for the win, I guess.
Grant
He wasn't even
Enfinger
going
didn't get
for the
anything.
win.
That is true. And
Yeah.
he literally just went like that.
Yeah.
Mhm. That's pretty much the only thing. It was really it was caution free. So Ty missing the field is pretty much like the only. Amarola won it, but
Yeah, we don't care.
he almost lost
I
it,
find it
and then
comical.
he won it again. So off the duel 2, which was a hell of a lot better. This was a lot more of aggressive field of a lot more big names and stars and everything like that. So the big fight was against Noah Gragson and Kaz Grala, and I didn't have Garrett Smithley even in my mind until 15
Until he
laps to go.
wrecked.
15 laps to go, and I'm like, wait a minute, this guy can stay in the draft, and yeah. So I think the lead changed hands a good bit. It was really good. Between like Truex, Dylan, Harvick, Byron, Blaney. I don't know why Byron even raced them, because like I said before, you have nothing to win and everything to lose, and he lost everything because the ending wreck at the end. I guess just skipped that. Or do you guys want to?
Forgot there was
I'm
a wreck
talking
at
too
the
much.
end.
The wreck was kind of like Garrett Smithley not using his head. People trying to put it on.
Yeah.
People trying to put it on Brad, but Brad was literally just following Harvick, and Smithley wasn't even there yet when he just poked his hole in.
Ain't Smithley the same one who, when they were racing at Kansas a couple of years ago, it was like Briscoe and Bell battling for the lead, and then Smithley got in the way, and then ended up wrecking Christopher Bell. Huh?
I believe that's him.
How does he still have a ride? Like,
money,
what has he?
Money, I guess.
What? Yeah, money. But like, what has he even done to show a remotely little bit of talent? Like, he hasn't even done good in Xfinity. Like, I can't recall one race where I said, "Wow, Garrett Smithley is being impressive." So it's just sports all about money now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The final like run to the finish, because I forget what the other caution was for. Oh,
What was it for?
Alfredo, like Briscoe cut a tire, and Alfredo and Gralla went with him. And Gralla got a lot of cosmetic damage, but they were able to fix it. But he was like a lap down, so they needed a caution or other open cars to wreck in front of him to make it in. Pretty much a lot of
Fair
luck.
enough.
And so for the next 17 lap run, he Garrett Smithy is working hard on Noah Gregson, and Noah wasn't giving it up, and he drove his heart out, and he was giving Smithy room, and he was being very like respectful to Smithy, and I feel like Smithy was like not using his head as much. Like he would just dive it wherever there was, and it was way too early for that, in my opinion. Um, and it ended up costing them, and he ended up diving it down 3 wide, and then dying and taking out Noah with him. So then Noah was out of the race, and pretty much Kaz Grala just had to survive 2 laps, and he was in the 500,
Yeah.
and he made it. Now for the race up front, um,
Truex was leading on the final lap on the bottom. And then I forget who was on the outside. I think it was Dylan. Would it have been Dylan? Well, someone was on the outside of him. Truex tried to throw a block and then got
it was
stuck in the middle.
Harvick,
So
I think.
was it Harvick?
I
Well,
believe it was
Truex just
Harvick.
fell all the way back. That was the end of his chances to win at a super speedway. Not even a race, but it was a duel.
I really
Then
wanted it. I really wanted a side by side Bass Pro Shops car to the end. Like
that
for
would have
Bass
been
Pro Shop, that would have been sick.
awesome.
Hey, go on.
Truex didn't win, so I don't care. I know I for Austin Dillon would basically manage to hold on to the lead from there. I mean, not much really
No,
else
Bub-
happened.
No,
Bubba
Bubba got
had
the
the lead
lead.
through
Didn't
3 and 4, and then
Yeah.
Austin went high off of 4 and got a big run off of Harvick, and then just cut low because Bubba just left the entire bottom open.
Didn't
Yeah.
Bubba almost get spun like Brandon Jones did?
That
Was
was
that
in the
that duel?
500.
That was in the
Oh, that was in the
500.
5. Oh, that was at the
Because
end of
Yeah.
stage 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, because he cut in front of Joey pretty much.
Yeah. Bubba literally almost recreated that from the night before.
Yeah. Why not? 3
Um,
favorite drivers across each series had terrible races. I mean, Daytona, I don't expect anything more, but
yeah.
a little bit
So
depressing.
Austin Dillon won the duel, which is pretty cool since it's 20 years after Dale's death. So it's kind of like
Apparently, your points leader too.
three in victory lane.
Trucks. I'll let you guys really take over that one. I didn't watch a whole lot of it.
The sword, baby. Woo!
So
even win?
Johnny Sauter took the pole for the truck race. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold up.
And?
I gotta pull up the stick and racing reference.
Am I quicker at doing this than you are?
What's
Yeah,
that
I
called?
am. It's just
So
depressing.
they were pretty much battling in the beginning. Right off the start, Tanner Gregg didn't even go off the start, and there's huge checkup, and it ended up killing James Busher, who started last, ended up finishing last because a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage.
Yeah, so there's a lot of damage on the front of his truck,
Uh-oh.
and that pretty much ended his night.
Oh no, Tanner Gray broke something in his. What did they say? Did they say driveline or something else?
I didn't even hear what he broke, honestly. The end of stage 1. So from here, Rafael Lassard, he took the lead, and stuck with it with his GMS teammates, and it was a pretty, it wasn't like close, like a close finish of stage 1, but it was a pretty exciting finish to it all. So yeah, Rafael Lassard took stage 1, which is a big start to the season. Derek Kraus put up like 5 more cautions after that.
Oh,
All I
feel
heard was
bad.
that he spun like 3 or 4
Yeah,
times.
and then the next major thing, there's a lot of racing, side by side between Thorsport and GMS, mainly like and I think it was side by side with like it was like Tyler Ingram and Todd Gilliland for a while. And then There was a caution. They restarted, and then on lap 66, the big one happened, which um took out Ankrum. It took out Sturt Friesen, Sheldon
It took out
Creed,
Sheldon Creed.
Todd
Was it
Gillen.
Josh Rayum?
Yeah,
Who's in the 33?
yeah. So that took a lot of contenders like Tyler Ankrum and Todd Gillen.
Oh,
They're really
Jason Wright.
fast. And Sturt Friesen, like he wasn't really fast, but it's a contending truck, I guess, kinda.
What's
We
Katie
get
doing? What are you
restarted,
doing?
make it another 3
on,
laps.
Rick.
Oh, we restart, make it 3 laps of racing, and then another quote unquote big one happens. Todd Gilliland, Matt Crafton gets a little bit of damage. Stuart Friesen's out after this. Brett Moffitt's also involved, and John Hunter Nemechek.
No, this one took out Todd too. Yeah.
Yeah, so Todd had major damage. Also, Stuart Friesen. Which is a shame. I feel like Todd definitely would have been up there and maybe would have won in the
Well,
end.
him and David had good trucks. Like when they got together, they were going places.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, they're working together. That was pretty cool to see. They're online working. I I screwed up because like I mentioned like the Ankrum wreck before, and that was when Ankrum got spun. So that wasn't even like a big one. Ankrum just cleared himself or something like that. So then we were on like 6 to go, and then on lap 96, the actual big one. I swear this is the actual big one. There's a lot of trucks involved, and I got footage of this one. I'm happy when I get footage of crashes, especially when I don't know. My favorite was in it. So this one took out Tyler Ankrum, John Nemechek, Drew Dollar, Rafael Lessard, Austin Hill, Johnny Sauter got a little bit of damage, and Carson Hocevar. Those just the real notables. Who's in the 25 again? Wasn't that's Timothy Peters.
That's Smith Peters.
Yeah, he was also a contender in that brand new team. He almost brought him home a win. Like he was like leading a little bit too.
Didn't Peters cause a wreck?
Might have.
he may have been.
Oh yeah,
he's
the one that caused the wreck because he kept coming down on Drew Dollar.
Yeah,
and just killed him.
It was stupid. Like I mean, he knew he wasn't clear, but he kept coming down.
Yeah, it was really stupid. I don't know what even. So this set off a 2-lap shootout, which had Thor Sport all up there with Ben Rhodes, Matt Crafton was up there, and Grant Enfinger was up there.
Thor Sport, all the homies hate Thor Sport.
Yeah. So
anyway.
Also on the restart, David Gilliland was second, and I'm like, get the upset. And then he fell back. He just like dipped on the restart. I guess he's like,
yeah, my son's not here, and then he just drove away. He said, "Yeah, I'm not doing this, man."
Yeah.
Well, he got caught up in the wreck coming to the checkers, didn't he? Like everyone did.
So on the restart, who would have even thought this was even remotely possible? But Corey Roper took the lead on the white flag, and he was leading down the back, leading in 3, leading into 4, and in 3 and 4,
leading
he had a
out
huge
of 4.
push. Yeah, he got a huge push in 3 and 4, and Thor Sport, of course, kind of like ganged up on him, and gave Ben Rhodes a huge push, and Corey he didn't really know how to react and like block him with a huge run. So Ben Rhodes went to his outside, I believe.
Yeah, the Corey Roper didn't even block Ben Rhodes, just went around the outside.
Yeah.
And who was it? Jordan Anderson. Went around on the inside. And then it wasn't as close of a finish last year, but it was a pretty still decently close finish. Ben Rhodes would come out on top. Anderson second, Roper third. Ryan Truex. I didn't even know.
Finally a deserving finish. Finally get something, bro.
And then Hocevar was 5th. And Creed just missed. So didn't
so off of 4, there was a huge wreck involved in guys like I think like Spencer Boyd was involved. Infinger, Dollar.
Probably all the
Um,
guys that
I believe
Yeah.
Crafton was involved too, somewhere in this. But
We
yeah, Void's
lost.
got them. Yeah, so
Oh, he's talking about hockey.
Yeah, we just blew a 5-2 lead and ended up losing 6-5 to Ottawa Senators, bro.
Imagine choking that bad, bro.
It's Leafs. I'm preparing for playoffs.
You're preparing for the playoffs?
Well, Ben
Okay.
Rhodes currently leads the points.
Oh,
Creed
yeah, that's
second.
yeah,
Nemechek is third. Chandler Smith fourth, and Grant Enfinger fifth.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Corey Rowe for sixth. Sleeper for the
Oh, yeah.
championship.
Hell, totally.
Lassard seventh. Tied with Ryan Truex. Oh, Austin Hill is 19th. What a trashman. I
You
shouldn't
hate
say
that
that.
dude so much.
I forgot
He's
to
gonna-
I
You
forgot to
hate
mention
him so much.
I don't
forgot
even
to
know why I
mention
hate
that
him. Dude.
Austin Hill. I don't know.
Austin Hill.
He just gives off really bad vibes all the time, man.
He looks like a child.
Yeah.
Why did Nick
Xfinity.
mention me?
So Xfinity qualifying ended up being rained out. So 2020 under points champion Austin Cindric started on pole, and who started second? That
Dubs,
shit's
baby.
stupid.
Allgaier.
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 Dubs, baby.
Oh yeah, the Xfinity race. The beef went for dinner 300. Oh,
What a great.
stage one. I don't remember much happening other
was
than
Dominated
pretty-
by the two Fords. mostly.
yeah, and then up until like the final couple laps, Brandon Jones would take the lead, and then
Yeah.
he would end up winning stage one. The
Did that go
92.
caution? It did not go caution.
No,
free.
there were several. There was
Oh,
the
that's right.
92. The 92 had two cautions, and then 36, Alex LeBay.
Yeah,
would
LeBay just
spin.
spun off of 4. He
Yeah.
got in the middle of the where there was zero air and just
Yeah.
woof.
And then stage one
around.
ended, which was Brandon Jones.
Mhm.
Stage
That
two
was-
would start. It would go pretty tame for a bit. It'd go for
Yeah.
like almost 30 laps, pretty tame. And there was a wreck on the front stretch, which was the one that involved Brandon Jones, which he had a hard hit. He tried to come down blocking. Who did he try and block?
He tried to block.
It was a black car. That's all I remember.
It was a black
That's
car.
racist. Okay.
Was it Jib Burton?
Yes,
Jim
that's who it
Burton.
was. It was
Yeah,
Jeb
he
Burton.
came down a block, and then it was a pretty stupid block in my opinion. And then he just got right through the grass. The splitter got all torn up, and then he couldn't save it. He came back up the track, got hit, and then straight into the wall. That was a vicious wreck. I'm
It was a
surprised.
nasty
that-
wreck.
Cody
Yeah.
We're at his finest.
I mean, at
Drilled
least the
him
good
right
thing
in the
is
side.
the good thing is he was spinning, because if he would have been going at full speed, that would have been disgusting wreck.
He would have been hurt. He could have been out for
Both
a while.
of them would have been hurt.
Oh yeah. And then there was another wreck less than 10 laps after that, I believe.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
in the third stage.
Yeah, it was the 1-car, 6-car.
Oh yeah,
Allgaier
that was
was
the
in
one
it.
that. How did that all start?
It's
I don't even
39
know
is
how it
Sieg,
started.
right?
I forget. 39 is Sieg. I forgot
Yeah,
it's even
Sieg was
started.
in it. Not many other contenders were in it. And there was
Well,
another
besides
wreck.
Gregson was in it. That was
Oh,
big.
Gregson was in it. Yes.
Oh, I gotta regain.
Oh, was
my
it the
memory
pit road
now.
wreck?
Yeah,
Yeah,
They're on the
when
pit
some of
road.
them went
That's
to
what it
pit.
was.
Yep.
Okay.
yeah. Everyone else is pretty much irrelevant except Noah Gregson, who's pretty much in the clear of it all.
Allgaier
Until
was in it. So was
No,
Sieg.
that Allgaier wasn't in that one.
Allgaier's number 7.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I read that wrong.
Yeah.
and that's
So,
another one.
Yeah, so someone just wasn't paying attention really, and Noah got hit in the rear, and it was a big enough damage to the rear of his car that it actually forced him out of the race, which is a shame because watching that car in the beginning, he was without a
He
doubt
was
the fastest
fast.
in my opinion. Without a doubt, the
Yeah.
fastest.
And
he
then
was really fast.
just over 20 laps later, there would be another wreck. or
Yeah.
less
That
than
was the
20
one
laps later.
that.
That was with
Oh,
47 is
Yeah.
Weatherman.
yeah.
Yeah, 47 of Weatherman, the 90. I forget who
1949.
that is.
Caesar Beccarella.
Yeah.
Yes, that one. And then after that, that was pretty.
It was-
tame.
After
And
that
then
was
there was a
the
big
biggest
one.
crash.
Yeah.
So
Ty Dillon and all his.
yeah,
That's
So
what
I
now
I
feel
was
listen to
like
telling
this. Ty
I feel
Dillon
like
went from the most loved
Joe-
man to the most hated man in
Yeah.
48 hours.
Yeah, Joe Gibbs Racing was lined up on the bottom. They pretty much had the field. They had the field at hand.
As long as they
had
just
it all
stayed
tamed.
there, they would have won that race probably.
Exactly.
I would say. And then
There
Ty
was no
Dillon.
reason. There was no reason, and I guess Ty just went to the outside of Hemrick, and into turn 3, he was just barely not clear and just
Yeah.
turned down and
Wrecked his
death.
own teammate. What a start
Yeah.
to the season.
This took out Ty, his
Dude,
teammate,
he wrecked everyone.
and then
Listen to this.
Allgaier, Herbst, Hurt, Haley, Jeb Burton, Brandon Jones,
No,
Timmy
Brandon
Hill,
Brown.
Brandon Jones
Brandon
wasn't in it.
Brown. That's right.
The 23 was. Who was that? I
Allgaier.
remember seeing that name. No, I remember seeing the number.
23.
What's his name?
Oh, that was
Josh.
Jason White.
Josh
White.
Berry.
Josh White.
Josh Berry was in it too.
Josh Berry was in it. Yes,
Yeah.
that's the part that sucked.
So-
he was doing so good. Can we talk
Yeah.
about how Josh Berry went like unnoticed until all of a sudden it's like, oh hey, he's
Yeah.
running 5th all of a sudden.
Oh, hey, he's
Yeah.
running well. Oh, hey, he's in the wreck.
Yeah, that's exactly
So this
what happened.
this takes out that's an end to all the junior motorsports driver who will not go 4 in a row, I think. To 2017.
2017 was Reed, wasn't it?
Oh, Ryan Reed. Okay, so
Ryan
then
Reed, the
2018
GOAT.
and 2019.
Forgot he
Okay, so
existed.
so that ends 3 years in a row for JRM. Between
That was
Yeah.
also what 5 out of 7
Between-
years in a row they had won it.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was like between Reddick, Annette, and Gregson.
Yeah,
So
And
that was
then-
a lot of the field, but there was still a good amount of competition left, and it forced some
what, 3 to
underdogs
go?
up there, kind of. Yeah,
3 to go, there was a wreck, which was the 4 car, which
Landon Castle.
is Landon Castle, the 10
Oh
car.
yeah, Landon
and the
Castle just
14.
made like
Yeah.
a bonehead move.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
does.
kind of. Yeah, so Jeb Burton got to his outside quarter panel, and Landon Castle just kept turning up, and it ended up
The
spinning
average
himself.
green flag run was 8 laps.
Jesus. And then we get to the
34.4%.
final restart. Didn't Harrison take the outside? Is that the part that screwed him up?
No, Cindric
No.
took the outside
Cindric.
actually.
Well,
I was
Harrison was in
surprised. I thought
the
Cindric would have
lead,
taken
wasn't
the
he?
inside. Yeah.
No,
Cindric was in the lead.
Cindric was in the lead. I thought Harrison. Okay.
Oh, can we talk about Brett Moffitt? Man, almost won that. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
He's the one that gave
He was-
Cindric that push to just
Yeah, he was
go.
so underrated the whole race.
I'm just happy that at the end of the race,
Yeah.
the man that ended the
so-
season last
Yep.
year with the
Cindric
W.
first, LeBay 40th. That's normally how it goes.
So Austin Cindric blocked really well. Like he didn't cut it too tight on Harrison Burton and Brett Moffitt, but it was like just enough where like he blocked their run, and he did it like 3 to 4 times during the last overtime restart to win. It wasn't like a side by side close finish that we're kind of like used to, but it was still a pretty good finish after a really good race, in my opinion. Really good race.
That was
Yeah.
it was a good race. It was probably of all the like duels and everything that I watched throughout the entire week.
It was the best
definitely
race.
the best race. Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
hands down.
Yeah,
So,
Cindric led the most laps, tied with the Harrison Burton led 28 laps. Forgot. So Cindric would win
Yeah.
the race. Brett Moffitt second, Harrison Burton third, Jeb Burton fourth, and AJ Allmendinger, who I was
Yeah.
surprised. He was pretty much a non-factor. Getting
wasn't
rid of
able
Rock
to really get
really
the-
hurts that team at super speedways. Have you
It
noticed?
does. Yeah.
The one time the calling cars got all together was the one time Ty Dillon was just like, "Hey, yo, let me send this corner, bro," and immediate death to the
Yeah.
field.
Notable finishes: Brandon Brown sixth, pretty good run for him. Brandon Godovic.
I don't know how to
Jodovic?
say his last name, so
Dovic.
don't ask me.
Godovic.
Davik.
I don't know
Davic.
why. I don't know why they gave that man the helmet cam. I'm like, why this guy of all people?
Well, and
Didn't even know he
honestly,
was
it ended up being a
racing.
good thing. Did you see how many times he got through a wreck and they were able to go to a
Yeah,
replay of that?
yeah.
Well, Ty Dillon would
Um,
end up almost wrecking his teammate Daniel Heinrich, and he'd still rebound to finish ninth.
He
Yeah,
still
because
beat Joe Graff
14th.
Jr.
He
Yeah.
finished 14th.
No, finished ninth.
Ty Dillon.
Yeah,
Oh no, I was talking about Heinrich.
Oh, Hemrick didn't cause that. That was Ty Dillon being fucking
yeah. So
Caesar
stupid.
Barcarella, 12th.
Macarilla.
Jesse
Can we just,
Little.
like-
I
everyone
mean, yeah,
cares.
a lot of 15th through 20th is really like notables, and it's kind of like crashed or had like an
The
Yeah,
fact that
quite a bit. DNF.
Vargas got in one of the wrecks and he didn't destroy his front end in the grass, which was impressive.
I didn't
Danny
even
Bone.
notice that.
Danny Bone. Who is that? Danny Bone. 19th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People's champ Timmy Hill. 20th. And that's pretty much
Everyone
it.
else, yeah. If you're outside of
Yeah.
top 20 at Daytona, it's kind of like
Yeah.
Literally
It's kinda a
22
failed
cars
day.
finished.
Who's your
the
points
race.
leader? Oh, Austin Cindric's your points leader by 15. Then Ty Dillon, Brandon Brown, Harrison Burton, Jeb Burton.
So realistically, Cindric has a 17-point lead.
He has a 15-point. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Ty
Yeah.
Dillon
Realistically,
hasn't
he
run
has
the
a
full season.
17-point lead. Yeah.
Over a guy who got
Ty's.
eliminated in the first
I
round.
know Ty's not running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can't run the full schedule. There's like
Nah, I was
Mm.
thinking. I know he's gonna run Homestead. I thought Homestead was the second race for a second.
talk
No.
to me.
So
Paul.
then
You
the next
joke,
week we
Yeah.
have
bro.
the next time we see them, they'll be going to the road course in which the current points leader won
Yeah,
at.
looking for technically 3 in a row.
Yeah. It's going to be impressive to see if he could do that. I mean, what outside of AJ and I guess we can throw Gregson in there. That's those are going to be like his two
Okay.
guys to worry about.
All guy was top 5 last year. Remember,
Yeah, he
Almadeira
also
still
made a
ranked
couple
him.
of bonehead moves and spun some people.
Yeah.
So
So that moves us on to the big race, the Daytona 500.
Daytona 500.
Being there, it was really awesome. In the beginning, it was a really nice day. It was nice and hot. It was really sunny. Almost a perfect day. It felt like. Sky was really clear, and Pitbull did a really good job on the what do you call it, on the command, and that fired him up. So Alex Bowman would keep his pole position, but William Byron would go all the way to the back. And this would put him in. That would put Austin Dillon on the front row, the 3 car. Cool stuff. Very cool stuff. So we start the race and we make it to lap 3. Everyone saluting Dale and everything until turn 4, and then Derek Hope, which
Didn't deserve to be in the race.
he
Yeah,
didn't even deserve to be in the race.
No Ric
but
Flair racing car deserved to be in the race.
yeah, but he exited quick. So he pretty much blew a tire, hit the wall hard. He was out of the race. I mean, no one complained. And they made a 7-lap run, and that 7-lap run was stressful because everyone was racing like it was the final lap of the Daytona 500, and there's a lot of pushing and manufacturers getting together, and everyone was shifting around. We were 3 wide, a lot of 2 wide, and a lot of really, really aggressive bumps that lasted until lap 14.
Was it 14?
15.
It was 14.
14.
Caution, 14 coming into turn. No, not even on the back straightaway. Going into turn 3, Kyle Busch gives Christopher Bell a big bump that goes into Bell, giving Almirola an even bigger bump, and Almirola can't take pushes, so he just right and into Bowman and killing the field. This involved Martin Truex Jr., Eric Jones, Jamie McMurray, Alex Bowman, Matt DiBenedetto, Tyler Reddick, Eric Amarola, Chris Buescher, Ryan Blaney, William Byron, Ryan Newman, Eric Jones, Kurt Busch, David
Christopher
Reagan,
Bell, not
Anthony
Eric Jones.
Alfredo,
Christopher Bell.
Christopher Bell. God dang. Anthony Alfredo, Daniel Hemrick. While I was going through that list, I was like, damn, I'm doing good names.
Hamrick.
Daniel Suarez.
Daniel Suarez. God dang it. Bro, it's a new season. Even though Hemrick hasn't been in the Cup Series in two
Daniel Hemrick hasn't raced a Cup Series
in 2
race
years.
since like
Oh, man.
2018.
Okay. So yeah. Truex. It was like Truex, McMurray,
Byron.
Reddick, Byron, Bell, Kurt, and that's it.
The only two of them that
was
were
able to
actually
move on.
competitive were Christopher Bell, who led
And
the
Jamie
second most
McMurray.
laps, and Jamie McMurray, who's
Yeah.
impressive.
Jamie would have definitely been up front more if it one wasn't only single file and two if they had the splitter right. But he said
if the splitter would have been fixed, oh my god.
Yeah.
I was really hoping I was gonna make
He ran the
still-
fastest lap in that
Yeah,
car.
he still
Holy.
ran the fastest lap in a race, which is crazy.
Well, I mean, I can't really put Busch in the blame for that because, I mean, he's giving a push. We all know that's going to happen at Daytona. But Christopher Bell, it kind of looked like he kind of turned right at the last second and hit Almirola in the right rear quarter panel.
Yeah.
Like, didn't like hook him like that, but like he moved up so it's not square. And with this aero package, if you don't hit them dead on straight in the back, it's going
They're
to
wrecking.
get.
They're wrecking.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I can't blame Bell for that because I'm pretty sure he was obviously trying to keep it straight as he can. But I think it was just unnecessary racing, which would probably end up costing. We probably would have a different winner if that wreck never happened. I'm just going to say that right now. I don't.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Hamlin
would not have swept the stages if that wreck never happened. This race would have been a totally different race.
Yeah.
If that wreck never happened, which it's unfortunate that's the way it is. But I mean,
well, when you only have 27 cars on the track after one wreck, that's 14 laps into the race.
Yeah.
Speaking of unfortunate, under caution, lightning was detected 8 miles away, and that means it would be a red flag.
Radius.
It was 8 mile.
Radius.
Yeah. So cars were flag, and this red flag would last 5 hours and 40 minutes. In this time, we had Chase Briscoe going to Panda Express, Ross Chastain going to McDonald's, and Tyler Reddick.
Someone else went somewhere. Yeah, Tyler Reddick went to Cheddar's.
Tyler Reddick going to Cheddar's. He went to a full-on restaurant, dining in, and yeah.
Was it just him? Was it only him that just went?
It was only him.
Seen Tyler Reddick at Cheddar's during the Daytona 500. Hey, why are you here?
Well,
rained away.
Did you see the Ross Chastain's video?
Yeah. The girl recognized him. She's like, "Oh, are you a race car driver?"
Well, yeah. I mean, it kind of helps.
He
when
pulled
he's
up with
he
Imagine
he had the Clover fire
car.
suit, but he also had a McDonald's hat on, so that kind of gave it away. It's like, oh,
yeah. That's such an ugly scheme. Why the orange number?
You hate that scheme
Yeah.
so much.
You're a couple years late on that kind of bashing. 5 hours, 40 minutes later, and we get back racing. We did a couple pace laps. Not a couple. We did a good amount of pace laps to kind of help dry the track with the cars. And we were off. It was Chase Elliott leading, Austin Dillon on the restart. I kind of missed the restart, so I don't know exactly like everything that took place. Austin Dillon took the lead. Oh, okay, and then Denny Hamlin took lead for 40 more laps. Okay, that's the story. He went stage 1.
There was a caution before that.
Yeah,
there was Quinn Houff and Chase Briscoe.
I've not seen a single replay of that because I haven't really felt.
Houff cut a tire.
And okay.
And kind of
Briscoe didn't get. Briscoe really got no damage from that.
No, that's what it was. Briscoe cut his tire. From that. And then
I was
because
thinking, I'm like, wait a minute,
the
hot
whole fender
speeding.
and hood, like right above the tire, just disintegrated because he wasn't
Uh,
going slow enough around. That's what
um,
happened with that.
23 laps after that, whole thing, and Denny Hamlin takes the stage. And then we go another 41 laps. And Christopher Bell leads 32 of those 40 whatever laps. From the restart. And then Bell cuts a tire. He blows a tire. And he does a pretty good job of saving it.
Nobody got damaged from that. Like nobody actually got
Yeah, it
taken
was like
out from
few
that wreck.
damage. He tapped Larson's door, and Larson like kind of like
Larson
kicked the
still got
wall
a
a little
better
bit.
finish at the end. I don't know why you're
Yeah.
going W.
I don't know
And
why I'm
then
going W either. I hated that race.
McMurray, I don't even know how, but McMurray spun. He kind of just spun, but then saved it
I think like him and
from like hitting the
LaJoy
wall.
got together or something like
Oh,
that
really?
from that, trying to avoid it.
So then after that, we go 14 laps, and I bet Hamlin led that one too. Honestly,
Yeah.
Yep. Hamlin would end up winning
yeah,
stage 2.
Hamlin.
And then there
Yeah,
would be
so
no
Hamlin won the stage
cautions in the
for no
final
race.
stage. Yeah. Toyota's really threw that
Toyota
race away.
screwed that up. Toyota royally screwed that up. They had
With
that race
Hamlin
in the
having
bag.
too good of a pit stop and just flying away from his teammates. And Bubba Wallace having to come down pit road again. That race was pretty much over. And Christopher Bell, I don't remember what happened.
I missed all that, so I didn't even know. Like, I remember watching a replay. I'm like, I didn't even know why Hamlin was like back there, and then like I didn't
Yeah.
even know until later today that Bubba was a lap down. I thought he was gonna leave that.
Yeah. So then it
Did
really
it,
came
like,
down.
He had to make an
What?
extra pit stop.
Yeah.
That's what
All
happened
right.
with Bubba.
So yeah, it came down.
It came down to
that
everyone
final
was
lap.
saying, okay, we're going to start going at like what? 3 to
6.
go. And then it got to 2 to go. And then it got to the final corner, which who was pushing who?
McDowell
was
pushed-
pushing Keselowski.
Keselowski looked to the inside, and then Logano would go throw a block, which would actually contact. Logano would go straight up into the wall. He would collect others. He would collect Keselowski, the 37, which is Priest, Elliott, Chastain, Busch, Bubba, and Cindric would all wreck, and then the caution would come out, and your leader, who was Michael McDowell, 14 years in the Cup Series, would get his first career win in the Daytona 500. Oh my God. I hated the race, but the anticlimactic of that finish was insane. Hamlin led 98 of 200 laps to end up getting screwed by Michael McDowell.
Honestly, that's
hilarious.
the one good thing about the race is that
I think
Hamlin absolutely
everyone
dominates and doesn't win.
I feel like everyone just like loves. We love when he won, and like the whole entire day today of like him like getting everything from Daytona 500 and just seeing how like humble
Miles
that
is
is.
going. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's
Everyone
worked
was
so
going
hard.
crazy.
He's worked so hard, and like the team and like Michael himself, like they won the 500, which is crazy.
Yeah. It's just it's really heartwarming, and it's good to know that you just know he will cherish that moment forever. Like, I mean, I'm not saying
the rest
no
of
one
his life
is built on that moment.
No, he's going to have the title Daytona 500 champion attached to his name.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how Trevor Bayne, like he did nothing the rest of his career, but he's going to have the title of Daytona champion next to his name.
Like, I'm not saying Denny Hamlin doesn't care about winning the 500, but seeing an underfunded team and a driver who's never won a race in the Cup Series win the Daytona 500, I mean, how can you just not smile unless you're a Denny Hamlin fan? Like, it was just
Denny even tweeted. Denny was like, "This was like no fluke. Like he earned this."
Man's ran top 10 the whole race, no matter if there was a big wreck on lap 14. He ran top 10 the whole race.
What didn't he start like 12th or something like that?
Yeah, he didn't have.
Yeah.
He wasn't bad any of the weekend. I'm pretty sure he's even running up front in the duel that he was in.
Oh, he started 17th. That's what. But yeah, he was
He was fast all
he
weekend,
was
and
7th in stage 2. So yeah, he wasn't just hanging around. No, he was
he wasn't
up
riding on the
there.
back. He was literally going for the win, and it's
Yeah.
just awesome to see. I loved it.
I'm just happy that it wasn't like a big name, honestly. Like that's the
Yeah.
biggest thing. Because you see the big
Like,
names
even if-
win, and
Yeah.
it's just like, all right.
For me personally, if it was like, even if Truex won it, I would be happy, obviously. But I think I'm more happy now that Michael McDowell won it, because what was the last time we had an upset winner actually win a race that was deserving? Like, you can't really consider William Byron, which it would have been Cole
No,
Custer.
that
That's
was
not an
no
upsetting
upset.
win.
That wasn't even upset.
Yeah, Byron
Oh.
wasn't an upset. Cole Custer was an upset, but that wasn't even him like being there. He was just right place, right time.
Custer
He
also
wasn't a
actually ran
factor.
top 10 the whole race, but
Did
he wasn't.
Oh, I didn't-
Yeah, he wasn't a race winning car. But like,
Yeah.
this is one of the most, I don't know how to explain it, one of the most heartwarming races and heartwarming winners ever.
Honestly,
Last
probably
time-
since was 2011, like the entire season.
I was
Yeah.
thinking. I was actually
Or
thinking
no, or
when
Dega 13.
I was thinking when Allmendinger won
Oh, the Watkins Glen in 14.
Watkins Glen.
Yeah.
I was thinking of that because like he went through a lot to finally get to like that point to win. You know, he started with Red Bull, who like was like missing races left and right at the beginning of Toyota, and then he went to Penske and was suspended mid-season, and then he's with James Finch, and then he finally got with JTG and he pulled it off in
Yeah.
epic finish.
That
I'd
was
say that's
that was
probably the last
probably
one.
the last true upset winner was AJ Allmendinger, I would say personally.
But like everyone knew there that he was good at road courses by that. That's the only
Yeah,
thing.
like
He was close many times.
Like,
before
I'd say
that.
the last 100% true upset winner would be Trevor Bayne.
Austin Dillon, his first win.
Coke
That's kind of an
65.
upset.
Oh, well, that was fuel mileage.
Yeah,
It feels more special if you're running up front almost the
Yeah.
whole race.
Trevor
Other
Bayne
than
was
just-
the fastest car of the entire 500 like week. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk
I
about
mean
our
Paul Menard winning. That was he was
Oh,
up front all race, but like it was
David
fuel mileage,
Reagan
but,
winning.
like, that was big.
Oh, didn't Chris say that?
yeah, I
Yeah.
mentioned that. Yeah. That was the front row cars are usually good at the plate races.
Oh,
So-
yeah.
Yeah, but that was still really really cool.
Oh
seeing,
yeah.
Yeah.
That was
the
him
teammates
and
working
David
together
Gilliland
and
just
just
like,
a
all right, we're gonna go
complete
win.
upset.
Yeah.
And they just passed. They passed Edwards, Kenseth,
they passed
Johnson.
Everyone. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
you guys are gonna battle. We're just gonna
Yep.
So our notable finishes: Michael McDowell get the win. I think most of us can agree that was pretty cool. Defending series champ Chase Elliott, second place, not bad. Austin Dillon, who had an insanely good Speedweeks, for third. He's
Yeah.
actually leading the points without
Yeah.
the playoff system. He's leading the points.
Yeah, I want to
Mm-hmm.
add that like Austin Dillon's finally. I think he's finally hit his prime, and his
he's
prime
finally
is like
reaching.
it's
he's
not going to
finally
be
getting to that point.
Yeah, he's at that point where like I think he'll be like
Contending for
round of
wins.
8. Yeah, and wins maybe round of 8.
If he
Yeah,
can get
Kevin
to the
Harvick.
round of 8, that'll say a lot about RCR.
Yeah. Kevin Harvick fourth. Okay. Hamlin fifth. Pre-6 had a races win.
P6,
That's
Ross Chastain 7th.
Yeah, that's
Ross
pretty.
Chastain.
no, that's pretty
I feel-
impressive.
I
I
feel
thought
like
he was
Ross.
gonna do something stupid.
Yeah, I
I'm
feel.
gonna be
yeah,
like,
you did.
Yeah, I thought the same honestly, but like Ross's car was like off. Like I feel like all his speed weeks.
Yeah, he didn't.
like,
he didn't.
It wasn't.
Yeah, he didn't
at
run
speed.
well.
Same
I
with
think
he
Kurt.
was, like,
kind of-
Kurt really didn't have the speed either.
Yeah,
Kurt
he didn't.
wrecked.
Well, no,
but,
like before the
could
but,
never
like in
get
the
back-
duels and pole qualifying too.
Oh
like,
yeah,
really
he didn't
Yeah.
really exist this speed weeks. Even in the Clash, I didn't see him.
No.
Shout out
else was
to
it?
both Spire Motorsports cars. Two of them.
Ooh.
Eighth and
Let's go.
ninth. McMurray
Let's
and
go,
LaJoy.
baby.
W.
Let's go. Fat W, bro.
Kyle Larson in his return. First top 10
Very
of the
respectable.
season.
Very respectable.
Yeah.
Because
He
he
ran well.
He usually kind of like is like mediocre at play track. So
Hey.
Yeah.
great
And
run.
even though he was in the wreck, Austin Cindric finishing 15th.
Yeah.
Good
You watch
car.
out for Christopher Bell. I mean, man led the second most laps of the whole entire race. Ran up front pretty much the whole race, even when he got damaged and had a penalty, I believe. I'm pretty sure he had a penalty. He still managed to get 16th. So I'm telling you, watch out for him. He's a sleeper championship contender, man. I'm telling you. And then notable
Yeah.
finishers
You just said that.
who would wreck.
Wait. You're
Eric
skipping
Jones.
over. You're skipping
Oh.
over. The
I
Rick
just-
Rare Racing car is getting a top
Rick
25, which is good for them.
No, they didn't.
Rawr.
Yes, they did. Cody Ware and Joey
20th,
Gates.
20th,
Oh my
Joey
God,
Gase,
Joey Gase got
21st.
20th.
Bubba 17th, but he
And
would end up
then-
wrecking. So.
Josh Balicki got 24th. BJ McLeod in that team's first race, 23rd. Which
Yeah.
is pretty respectable. I doubt
See,
they're
I
racing
like-
near there.
I like BJ McLeod more than the other like backmarker cars because he knows to just get the hell out of the way. 'Cause
Yeah.
he knows what he has in his car, to where the other guys don't do that at all.
Yeah.
Truex, Byron, Reddick ran like 8 laps down pretty much the whole race. They didn't DNF.
Byron
and-
or not Byron,
and-
Reddick still finished only 12 laps down with that.
In that car.
With that,
And notable DNFers, Ryan Blaney involved in that first big wreck.
Yeah.
That's pretty disappointing. Busher, Alfredo, De Benedetto,
Almirola.
Bowman. No, not Almo. Suarez. That was pretty. I
You
wanted
hate
to
him,
see
but
what
you gotta
I wanted to
Suarez
see what
is-
Suarez
Dude,
could have
Suarez
done.
was so that one was sad, dude. Oh my
Suarez's car
God.
was so fast, bro.
Yeah.
That is really fast car. I feel so bad.
David
for him.
Reagan and his comeback with DNF. So we're good to know. Nothing's changed. Ryan Newman.
Bro, he got fourth
And-
into the last year's Daytona 500 before this.
Jones.
Yeah.
I was so
Jones
confident
was
for
so-
him to finish.
Jones was
I
so
was
nice.
so confident too.
And I had him. I literally had him in our fantasy thing. Oh, that we
Yeah.
still have to do. Are we
We
doing
will
that
have to
while
do that.
recording?
Yeah, we're gonna do that while recording.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, that is
which-
fat
wait,
W's.
that was-
That's gonna become a segment. I feel that.
Okay.
Yeah.
What should we call it? We have to make a name for it. Can we talk about how hot that Armo paint scheme was? Do we
yeah.
want to talk about the whole broadcasting for Clint Boyer, Gordon, and Mike
Okay,
Joy as a whole?
Clint Boyer
Wait,
is the
wait,
saving
points.
grace to Fox.
Points
Oh yeah,
real
points,
quick.
points.
Okay.
Points per points. Austin Dillon leads Denny Hamlin by 6 points after winning the duel and having a top 5. Then Denny Hamlin 6 points behind. Kevin Harvick 8 points behind. Chase Elliott after runner-up 10 points behind.
Slow down.
McDowell is 12
Damn.
points behind. That's the top
I don't know why you're
5.
talking about that. Those points don't matter. Playoff standings really matter. I mean, it doesn't
No one
really
cares about
change.
playoff standings right now.
Well, I mean,
I mean,
how
It's
it's
just
gonna
after
be.
Playoff-
Daytona.
Playoffs is
Michael
extremely
McDowell has
irrelevant
made the
right now.
playoffs, boys.
Yeah,
That's
we need
that's
to-
literally the only downside of this whole thing. I haven't wanted to mention it
Screwed
because like
my whole playoff bracket. It just went down the drain.
everyone's who literally thought that like McDowell of all guys.
He
in
has
Cup
taken a
system-
playoff spot. I'm not hating on him. I'm hating on the
He's-
system.
he's
He has taken a
he's
playoff
taken a
spot from
playoff
Cole
spot.
Custer. Who else? William Byron could be. Potentially
Bubba
Kyle Larson. We don't know
Wallace.
how he's going to run. Bubba
Bubba,
Wallace,
DiBenedetto,
Daniel Suarez, Eric Jones,
Austin
DiBenedetto,
Dillon,
Eric
Chase Briscoe.
Almirola, Chase Briscoe.
literally any of those guys.
Yeah.
Competition is
Christopher
so
Bell.
high that this one position is really gonna like kill a lot. We're gonna have
This
to
is
see who it
really-
screws at the end of the
yeah.
season.
It's going to screw. Like, I'm telling you, it's going
Okay.
to screw like 4 drivers, even though it's one position.
Clint Boyer.
Clint Boyer is the saving grace to Fox. That man single-handedly is going to keep Fox being a broadcaster of NASCAR.
Man
Like-
he was on top of his game. Like the clash was a little bit messy. Like I could tell he messed up some things, but first time in the booth, in like full time, pretty good. I mean,
Well,
I
it
can't
helped he had
complain.
practice the night before.
Yeah,
So,
and who was it? Him and Jeff Gordon mesh really well. That's what Jeff
Clint
Gordon has been
Boyer.
missing.
Clint Boyer saved Jeff Gordon because Gordon has
Clint
had
Boyer-
zero
yeah.
personality.
Clint Boyer brings out the good commentator in Jeff Gordon.
Yeah.
And like overall, that booth is one of the best booths I've seen in quite a long time. Like I like NBC better. I think they have better coverage. And I think I might like them still a little bit better than Boyer and Gordon, but we'll have to wait to see how it goes on with Boyer and them. But honestly, it was pretty good. Like it was, even though it was a terrible 500 race, it was pretty good to listen to the commentators, honestly.
The only time I wish they weren't giving so much input was right after we came back from the red flag when all the crews were thrashing on the cars. I wish they would have just let them, like, just recorded the pit crews just doing their thing and just watching and not really, trying to
I
give their
also hated,
analysis on it.
yeah. I
I
also
get what you're
hated that
saying.
thing that they. I also hated that thing they did in the Clash. Where it was like Boyerism. Do you
Yeah.
remember that?
I don't even.
That was-
They didn't bring that back.
I
Did you
remember
notice how
that,
they didn't bring
honestly.
that back?
So what's now?
Fantasy.
Fantasy. We're gonna go into
Fantasy.
fantasy. We will be trying to
Okay,
make this into
so
a segment.
as a refresher for how we do fantasy, it's not like the normal pick 5 drivers each week. So we put down the top 25, I think, or top 20
Top
most
25.
competitive. Yeah, so most
Yeah.
competitive teams of in the Cup Series right now, in our opinion. I mean, I think it's pretty easy to pick out. And we spin a wheel, and each of us gets 5 drivers, and for the next 5 weeks, we have to pick one driver we think will do the best for that specific track in our lineup. And pretty much whoever does the best wins the week and gets the most points. Pretty much, yeah, every 5 weeks we spin a wheel again and more drivers.
You cannot get the same guy twice until you've gone through all 25 drivers that we have listed. That is the big key factor. So now, Kaden.
Chris currently leads. It goes basically, since there's 4 of us, me, Chris, Troy, and Nick, who's not here right now. It goes, Chris is leading. He has 4 points. Troy, I believe, is second.
Yep.
Who has 3 points. Nick has 2 points. And then I was so confident about Jones just for him to finish 39th and get 1 point from me. So
I'm the only one who wasn't a part of that lap 14 wreck.
Your driver ended up still wrecking. So
he still ended up wrecking, but he wasn't.
Who did you pick again?
I had Bubba.
Oh,
yeah.
We all of our drivers were the first 14 laps of wrecked. We had Bowman, Jones,
and Busher. Troy took Busher.
my lineup sucks. Okay, at least I'm getting the mediocre drivers out of the way.
You got Harvick and Kurt,
and
that's
Harvick.
your only saving grace.
You have, yeah. All right. So
I already know who I have. You guys already know who I have.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Why don't you tell everyone?
I gotta look now.
Why don't you tell everyone, Kaden, who you're
Oh,
picking?
okay. Well, I mean, who do I have on the table? I have Hamlin that I can use. I have Logano, I have Bubba, and I have Truex. I think this is pretty safe to say. It's kind of a toss-up between Hamlin and Truex. But I think Hamlin's going to have speed at Miami. So I'm going to take Truex here for
There you
Daytona
go.
Road
You got to
Course.
think smart. You have to think strategy with this, with how we're doing it.
This is why I was contemplating I originally had Hamlin for Daytona Road Course, but then I thought, well, Hamlin was way better than anyone at Homestead last year.
Mm-hmm.
And Truex didn't run well. Logano, I don't know about him.
He was bad. He was
Yeah.
bad last year.
Same with Bubba. Bubba was in worse equipment, but still, I don't know how he's going to run. So, I mean, you got to kind of strategize. The next couple weeks are Miami. We have Daytona Road Course next week. Miami, Vegas, and Phoenix.
Yeah.
So, Phoenix, I mean, I kind of got to go with Logano. But then it's kind of a toss-up. Do I take Bubba for the road course or do I take him for Vegas? So I'm going to go Truex for road course. That's what I'm going with.
That's a good move. I think that's a safe move.
Not my luck. He's going to DNF.
Well, my lineup is pretty trash besides Harvick and Kurt, but it's the Daytona Road Course. None of them are really reliable there.
You got to say who you have.
Oh, so I have Kurt, Harvick, Chastain. I already used Busher, and I have Austin Dillon. So I'm gonna pick Chastain for this week because Dylan has never had a top 15 at a road course in his whole entire Cup career. So that's a red flag there. Harvick has struggled a lot in the Daytona road course, and Kurt he overshot. I think he overshot turn one twice, or something like that. Or was that only once?
Yeah, he shot
He
once.
did it multiple times. So once. So he still overshot it, and he was kind of like mid back of the pack. So and Chastain isn't that bad of a road course racer, but like I don't really see him being amazing at any other future races. And there's better drives in my lineup for the future oval races.
Basically, what Troy's trying to say is he had to pick the best of the worst.
Yeah, that's about it. Honestly, he just had to go with the safest pick. Who did Nick go with? So that I can.
Did he even say?
No, you're gonna.
No?
We'll have to message him.
Yeah,
All
I'll
right.
message him. Oh, he
he's
said
going with
Busher. Okay.
Interesting.
Okay.
Get this.
Who
thing
does he
going.
have, and why did he go with Busher?
He has Dibby, Keselowski, and Suarez.
Oh,
He used Bowman.
he could have
in the
used
500.
Suarez.
I
Could
feel like
use
Suarez. We don't know the actual speed of that car though, since it was only like Daytona.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Should have
I feel
used
like
Suarez
I
in the
feel like
first
it's too.
race.
Yeah, I feel like it's too much of a risk. to
Well,
use
I feel
Suarez.
like with Justin Marks being part of like the leaders of the team, and he was pretty good at road course racing, given his
He's
background.
gonna know how to set up a road course car.
Yeah,
I
and
mean, even
Suarez grew up
Suarez was
racing the
pretty good.
Mexican or the what was it called? Mexico series.
Yeah.
Was it-
It's
what was it?
called like Peak Annie. Like
Oh, it's peak antifreeze now or something like that.
Yeah.
So Suarez was doing a lot of road course racing there because they do
Yeah.
a lot of that over there.
Suarez was actually like pretty good. He was like above average on road courses when he ran with Gibbs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He was.
So with him, I want to take Suarez, but I think I'm going to play it safe and go with Briscoe because it is a road course.
It's not bad. That's
I want to run
pretty
Briscoe
solid
at
pick.
I want to run Briscoe at one of the ovals, but I feel like I know where I'm going to take Suarez. So
You're gonna take Suarez at Phoenix. Knew it.
yeah, that's obvious choice at that point because I have Jones and Newman outside of that for
Oh.
Vegas and
Oh, you got a pretty bad lineup too. I'm the only one with
now
a
I do.
stack. I got a stacked lineup. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's gonna come down to like Miami, and I'm gonna have like Anthony Alfredo, Ross
We're not using
Chastain,
Ross
Austin
Chastain. We
Dillon.
are using. You could end up with
Yeah.
Austin Dillon or Ross Chastain.
Yeah,
Austin
I
Dillon
mean-
ain't that bad, bro. I mean,
I know
pick
he's not
him-
bad, but I'm talking about like lower, not saying worse
Yeah.
drivers, but lower
Yeah, I
tier
know.
drivers.
Yeah, not championship winning
I
cars.
feel like it's harder to pick when you have bigger drivers because once you have like bigger name drivers, like if you have Harvick, Hamlin, Keselowski on the same bracket or on the same like five-span weeks,
set,
you are set, yes.
but then you can't
But-
use them for so long.
Yeah. And it's also hard, like if you're like choosing like a random track like New Hampshire, like Harvick's always good in New Hampshire. Hamlin's always good in New Hampshire. Keselowski's always good in New Hampshire. So it's like, yes, having big name drivers is good, but do you want all of them at the same time?
Yeah, that's the
Well,
only
you could
thing
look
about it.
ahead about like what's coming up pretty much. Plan it out in advance.
That's what
Yeah.
I did. I already
I
have
have-
mine planned out.
I don't have mine, so.
I think mine's pretty easy to
So
plan
does
out.
that pretty much wrap it up? Into the
Yeah,
Daytona
there's
road
not-
course.
There's not
Yeah.
any news or anything after Daytona that's come out, is there? I
Nope.
can't
I
think
don't
of
think
anything over the
there-
past day.
We completely ditched the ARCA race, but it was
mean,
kind of bad.
We mentioned
I
it
just
earlier
watched-
when you weren't
beside-
here. We weren't gonna do it because
Yeah,
Oh, really?
'cause
yeah,
I was looking for Xfinity and I clicked ARCA buyer and I'm like, ooh, Corey Rain won the ARCA race.
yeah. And then I was just
Corey
like, we're gonna
Hyman.
skip the ARCA because
Yeah. Pretty much the only like a big thing is that Gracie Trotter, she pretty much like not on purpose, but
Killed the field.
inexperience kind of like spun.
Inexperience,
Yeah, and kind of killed
yeah.
the field.
she's kind of disappointing with
And
everyone hyping her up
and
so
Ty
much.
Gibbs trashing the ARCA super speed.
Oh my god, yes, that's the one
Oh,
thing we
forgot
can
about
mention
that.
about the ARCA race. Ty Gibbs absolutely went off on ARCA and their package for the super.
What did he say?
Speedways.
I didn't watch it.
said-
He was What did he say?
He pretty much said that like you can't pass with it and like you can't really get runs with it, and that he'll go on iRacing when it's home since it's better, and iRacing did a better job than Arca.
Yeah,
Not wrong. To
he
be
literally
fair,
called the
he's not
video game
wrong.
better than the actual thing. Like, and I'm just gonna piss off
First
all the
Super
iRacing
Speedway
fans with
star
that.
and just yeah.
Yeah, he
I
absolutely
think that
shit on them.
about I think
think
that
that's
about
it.
covers it. Thanks for watching this episode of the NASCAR Hotspot podcast. Don't forget to follow me, the NASCAR Hotspot, on Instagram. Subscribe, like, whatever the other things are. Check us
Comment.
out.
Check us out
Comment.
leave reviews. Tell us if we're
Leave
doing bad. Tell us
reviews.
if we're doing good.
Tell
Yeah.
us if we should remove
YouTube,
Troy or not.
Yeah.
YouTube,
We will do it.
Spotify. Oh, okay. That's nice. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever you call that stuff.
Mm.
And we'll see you